What's going on, team? What's going on, team? Welcome to this morning's live trading session for April 22nd, 2025. All right, team. So let's do this one by one. Just go through the pairs, look at them real quick, see what we're looking for. Right? We know AU got the 4-hour break, right? The 4-hour change of character. So this is good. We know that right now we're still in an uptrend. Right now we're still right on the internal time frame. We're still uptrending. We're still getting the pullback. We know that overall we're still on a downtrend overall, but we're looking for a pullback to be set. Right? We're waiting for the lower high to be set to then make that lower low. So right now there's no engulfing candles, there's nothing. Right now we have higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price went down and gave us a lower low change of character just now. So AU is looking good. Right, I'm still not gonna trade it, so I'm gonna turn it off. E8 372. Let's go back to this one. I'm gonna just go through these one by one and see which ones have done their move, which one hasn't. ECAD had a 372 as well. 372 was hit, and then price started going downtrend. So ECAD is one of those pairs that right now, when we're looking at the trend, we're trading at a higher high. Right, very similar to a lot of pairs. I'm not gonna take a buy position at a higher high. I'm gonna wait for price to give me a higher low, give me a pullback. Once we get a pullback or once we get a continuation, that's when I'll continue to trade ECAD. But right now, at the top of the zones, sitting at a higher high in structure, I'm just not gonna take a trade. And price again already gave us a 372, and right now is just in a little zone of consolidation. So ECAD, we're gonna turn it off. EU, we're looking for a 372 third day high. Once again, very similar to the other pairs. Right, EU, we're sitting at a higher high. So what we were talking about yesterday, right? What's the probability of this entry working out? Right, not only that, but we already have 3 weeks where price has continuously has gone up. Right, and after 3 weeks of rise, after 3 days of rise, after 3 months of rise, what is the market gonna do next? Right, it's either gonna move sideways or it's gonna go down. Right, and that's okay. Again, we're trading higher high, higher low, and we're at a higher high. We're looking for a higher low. So once again, at a higher high, what's the probability of this 372 working out? It's very low probability, and we can see how that of what's happening right now with that. So again, is this 372 going to be hit? I don't believe so, but again, we'll keep it on. Very similar to EA, since we're still looking for this, and we'll come back to this at a later time. GA just consolidated a lot throughout London, throughout Asia and London session, end of London, going into NYC, which is what we're looking at now. Or the start of London going into the start of NYC, we've just been trending. So, if we would have held on to that trade from yesterday, I would have just had to have moved my stop loss. Would that have worked? Probably not, because how steep this pullback was towards the end of the day. Just kind of a lot of wicks, long candles. Regardless, this is not a pair that I'm looking for an entry at this moment anymore. The entry for yesterday was pretty much just a little entry I wanted to catch to go back to the top of the zone of consolidation. At this moment, we kind of already made that move, right? There's no engulfing candles that we could go back towards, that we could be like, oh, this is gonna be a good area for us to look for a pullback, take a trade. Here, we do have the internal change of character break of structure retest, which is again where we got in yesterday, but price just consolidated the entire time. So the engulfing candles and everything that were here in the lower time frame definitely all got disrespected. So right now, no entries on GA. I'm gonna skip GA for now. GCAD, we were looking for a break, right? We finally got that break. We got that pullback, and then price came back up. We were looking for a 372. 372 was already hit, obviously. Now the next thing to really look for is the entry points. And again, the entry points, talk about GCAD, we know we're in level 3. We're looking for price to bounce off to 50. We know we're looking for price to give us a new weekly high as well. Or a new monthly high, sorry. If price doesn't give us that monthly high this week, then we know next week we'll catch those trades to continue that push to the top side. Right now we have no engulfing candles on any of the time frames that we want to see it in. Let's go to a lower time frame. Nothing in the 30, nothing in the 15, nothing in the 5. When we're looking at structure 2 in the 5 minute, we had high, low, 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 high, consolidation, boom, high, low, high, low, high, low. And then boom, we had high, and then we had low, and then boom. So we have a change of character, lower, low. We don't have a change of character or BOS to the top side. Engulfing candles, we also don't have any engulfing candles on the 5 minute. All we really have is this cross of the 50 above the 200 retest. But it's one of those questions, like, do we want to take a trade here in this area? So we know we had higher high, higher low, boom, higher high. And this higher high that we're trading is because of this BOS. So we know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. So if we use our fib from the higher low to the higher high, we know that this is just a 23.6 retracement. And if we go into the 23.6 retracement, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. We have change of character here. Then we have the break of structure that happened here. Right? So it is looking good. I'm not gonna sit here and say that this isn't looking good. We're looking at about a 15 pip stop. And again, what I'm looking at was this right here. Sorry, I got hiccups because we got change of character. We had the break of structure. Then when we're looking for the entries, we're looking for the entry between 61.8 and 50%. And we are sitting at the 50% of 61.8. So it's exactly moving. It's moving exactly how we need it to move. What's good, Mr. Albert? What's the stream, my brother? Sorry, I don't have the chart open, or I don't have the chat open. I'm looking at the chart on one screen. And the next thing I want to do is calculate STP and see how many pips we got for right now. So 193 pips minus 33%. It's 129. 129 pips. $129. then in the 1 minute, we had an engulfing candle here that printed, but doesn't have a top wick on that red candle. Not valid. Would have been a real beauty though. Go back to the 5 minute. Right? Let's just take a look at the 5, 15, and 30 for engulfing candles. We'll be patient with this. So GCAD, we'll keep this here. What comes next? GJ. Alright, so GJ, still in the zone of consolidation in the lower time frame. We're still in the middle of it, so GJ, I'm gonna turn it off. No problems, bro. Can we go over how to use the fib effectively? Yeah, I got you. No worries. GU, we're still trading at a higher high. So again, I'm gonna be looking for a pullback. We already have 3 months of rise. This month already gave us that third push. We have 3 weeks of rise. This week, price already gave us that third push. And then I'm also gonna do something here. I don't think we'll get this deep of a pullback, but for the time being, I'm gonna green. Did we ever get a pullback? We did. Technically, we did. Boom, right here. So that could have been a nice entry, a little flip zone entry for a continuation. And this was during so this would have been, you know, the only thing that ruined this trade, and the only thing that has ruined trading GU for me personally, has been these zones of consolidation and these continuations with no pullbacks, right? But it is what it is. You know, G, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm not gonna trade it. US 30. We'll come back to US 30. I like what we're doing here. I don't like that we're trading lower lows and lower highs, but that's okay. You know, we got these gaps. Let's go to the higher time frames and see if we have any engulfing candles. Nothing in the daily, nothing in the 4. In the 1 hour, we had this right here, but this doesn't have a bottom wick. Oh yeah, it does. Small wick. It does have one. Red, green engulfing, but I don't think we'll get this deep of a pullback once again. Not a valid engulfing. No valid engulfings here on the 1. On the 30, nothing valid on the 30. On the 15, nothing valid on the 15 either. We have this one that we just printed, but it's not valid either. Red, green. I'm not going to take a trade at a higher high once again. So US 30 will wait it out. USD CAD, I'm not trading it. USD ZAR, I'm not trading it. Gold already hit ADR and STP for the day. So again, I'm not trading gold. Bitcoin, I'm not trading Bitcoin either. It's very similar to US 30, but I'm not going to trade Bitcoin. And then US oil has been consolidating for the day. So let's see, internal time frame, it gave us a change of character, higher low, and then now we're looking for that break of structure to go back to the top side. Give us a steeper pullback. And again, I don't trade counter. Right now, trading oil in a long is trading counter trend. We are in the first zone of consolidation. We broke out of it in a downtrend, and we started level 2. We're looking for price to go from lower low to lower high. So we're looking for a pullback at this point. And on the 4 hour, it gave us an engulfing candle going long. Not a valid engulfing. No bottom, no top wick, and then the first red candle, the second red candle didn't close below the first red candle's wick, so it's not a valid engulfing. So we're gonna shut off oil for now too. So right now we know we're left with a couple pairs, right? We're left with US 30, which we'll look at closer to NYC session, EA, EU, and ECAD. So EU, only reason I still have this on, realistically speaking, is because of that 372. Do I think is gonna be hit? Honestly, I can't sit here and say that. I think it's gonna be hit. Not enough indication, not enough confluence, not enough confirmations for me to feel comfortable enough to say that I'm gonna take a trade on any of those pairs at this moment. I do like that we got a change and a break on a 1 minute. That's really good. I would have loved an engulfing candle on a lower time frame, or somewhere in another time frame where I could look for a pullback, re-entry, continuations. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. And then we have no news today. Very clean day. We have medium impact news at 10 for Euro and for USD. So we'll wait till 10:30. And then today's Tuesday. I thought today was Wednesday, I'm not gonna lie. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we have news, right? So week is gonna really start on Wednesday. We have Euro news at 3:15, GBP news at 4:30 a.m., 9:45 USD news, 1:15 GBP news. Thursday we have USD news at 8:30, and then it's a bank holiday for NZD and AUD and for Euro. So Thursday and Friday we shouldn't really see too much going on Thursday and Friday this week, and the next week will obviously the last week of the month. Shouldn't be expecting too much volume. Bank holiday starts on Mondays as well for the JPY pairs. And then should be pretty much regular for the rest of the week. We have news again on Wednesday next week at 8:30 a.m. Thursday is another bank holiday for CHF, Euro, and China. But we should have a pretty good week next week as well, aside from Wednesday, Thursday. And then non-farm is on Friday, is the first Friday of the month, I'm pretty sure. First Friday of the month, Friday, May 2nd, is non-farm. So should be a pretty crazy start to the month as well. Still got a bank holiday for JPY on Monday for the new month. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is completely normal, except for Euro on Thursday. It's another bank holiday. Damn, bro, we good? Gonna keep having bank holidays or what? But any questions, let me know. So the fib retracements are pretty easy. So the fib that you're gonna be using on every time frame is pretty much the same. So what you're looking at is structure. So I'll show you the example. So if you go to the daily time frame, right? When you're looking at the daily time frame, you're looking at structure. So we know that on the daily time frame on EU, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, right? No price never broke these lows, price never broke these highs until here, right? And then price just continued higher high. So we know that we're trading again higher high, higher low down here, and then price gave us higher high over here. So where I'd put my fib on the daily time frame, once again, the daily time frame, you're putting your fib from the higher low to the higher high. So now you know that, okay, on the daily time frame, where could you expect the pullback to be? Right? So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you need anything cleared up in the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, it's the same thing. Right? 4-hour time frame, what are we trading? We know we're trading from higher high, higher low, higher high. Sorry, I did it with the wrong tool. Right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. So on the 4-hour time frame, your fib should be from the higher low to the higher high. Right? And then you have your fib retracement, the 50%. Right? 30 minutes, same thing. On the 30-minute, right? You had higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price went down and gave you a lower low, change of character. So you know that you're trading between this high and this low. Nothing has broken these lows, nothing has broken these highs. So once again, where are you trading? You're putting your fib from the high. Since we got a lower low change of character, right? Now you're putting your fib from the high to the low, which is down here. I'm just going to extend it so we can see where we've been consolidating. And we know that we got a retracement to the 88.6, but we've just been consolidating in this range. But that's how you put your fibs on each time frame, just based on structure again, right? If you're putting your fibs not based on structure, then you 100% have the wrong fibs, and it's not going to work the correct way. Right, so again, your fibs are always going to be following structure. You have higher high, higher low, boom, higher high, and you're looking for a retracement, right? You're looking for a fib retracement. You know that you want to put your fib from the previous higher low to the most recent higher high, right? And this is where you'll be seeing price pull back to 38.2 or 50% and then continue. Same thing on the lower lows and lower highs. If you're making lower low, lower high, boom, lower low, and you're looking for that fib retracement, where are you going to put it? You're putting your fib retracement at the lower high into the most previous lower low, and then you'll be looking for that fib retracement. So every time frame is used the same exact way when you're looking at structure and when you're looking at how to put your fib retracement. I hope that made sense, and I hope that helps out. So right now we know we're looking at EA. Once again, let's just start from the top. EA, we're looking for that 372. See already price is pushing up to that, so could be pretty much done for EA. EU still at these lows. Let's see, we have 14 minutes for this engulfing candle to print. We have no other engulfing candles on any other time frame. On the 1 hour, this wouldn't be a valid engulfing because the second red candle didn't close below the first. On the 30 minute, alright, second red candle closed below the first, but that first red candle does not have a bottom wick. Yes, it does. Okay, so we'll wait for this on the 30-minute time frame. We'll be looking for that engulfing candle on the 30. Nothing on the 15. Now I'm want to look for structure on the 5-minute, right? On structure, when we're looking at it, we know we had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, right? And we're pretty much still trading between this low and this high. Now, if we say lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, we're looking at the 1 minute, right? We have higher high, right? And then price never broke these highs or these lows until here, right? We had change of character, higher high, higher low, break of structure, higher high, and again 1 minute time frame, we know we have higher high, higher low, lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, and we're pretty much trading between this high and this low. So if we could get that break of structure on the 1 minute, and we could also get that 30-minute engulfing, we know we'll be looking for a break of these highs. But then again, that pullback would be way too steep in my opinion. I don't think we'll get a 18 pip pullback once we get that break. Makes sense. Thanks, bro. No problem, my brother. So we'll see what happens with EU. We'll see what happens with EU. GCAD still looking good. Still kind of pretty much waiting for that engulfing candle. For an engulfing candle to print, we don't really have any engulfing candles here to continue to look at, but that's okay. I'm looking at structure. I'm looking for breaks. I'm looking for continuations. Right? We know we had a little change of character. We had a little break of structure. Higher high, higher low, going into that higher high. Any questions on any other pairs, guys? Anything you guys are looking at? Let me know. And again, not a valid engulfing. We never had that top wick on the red candle, so we'll be patient when it comes to these entries. No rush. And then US 30, we'll be patient with this as well. Would love for price to go up. Would be very ideal. But again, no rush. No rush at all. Yo, chillin', my brother, chillin'. What are you up to? Good morning. Doing what? What trade? Oh. Telling you, bro, like these last 2, 3 weeks that you've been up at that time, you see how price just comes back to you. 9 out of 10 times, bro, that shit will happen if you trade London or Asia session. Like, I know that, but listen to what I'm saying. If you're going you back to these last 2 weeks that you've taken trades during Asia session or London session, the question is, how many times have you seen it come back? You're still not understanding my question. It doesn't matter about the pair. Treat all the pairs like they're all treated the exact same way. The question again, these last 2 weeks that you've taken a trade, or not even that you've taken a trade, that you've seen the chart. How many times in the last 2, 3 weeks have you seen a pair? Again, it doesn't matter which pair because every pair does it. How many times have you seen it go into profit during Asia session? Whether it's 10 pips profit, doesn't matter. And then it goes right back into either break even or it just goes back and reverses back to where it was at. Nine out of 10 times that will happen on every single pair. Again, the only reason price for most of these pairs are moving the way they're moving, especially the ones who are moving as soon as the market opens, is because of all the shit that's going on. But again, think about it. You go look at any pair. You go look at a random pair. Doesn't matter what timeline you're looking at it. What are the odds of price going up during Asia session and then continuing that uptrend during London and then continuing that uptrend during NYC? If that was the case, everybody would be a millionaire. There's reasons for the trap falls real. There's reasons why Steve was telling you about the market sessions and how they work and the TFR. Go back and watch that. I'm telling you, you're staying up for no reason. Like, I get you. I'm not gonna say no reason because there's money to be made and there are some pairs that you need to trade during that time. But again, is it worth not even the risk? You're up at that trade. There's no reason why, number one, just looking at this on the 30-minute time frame, there's no reason why you shouldn't have at least, if you would have missed, let's just talk about this, right? If you would have given back 15 pips, depends on what your entry is, obviously. If you would have given back 15 pips, whatever. But looking at this on just a 30-minute, you number one, you have to be babysitting this trade if you're taking it during Asia or London session. But once you start going down to lower time frames, you start seeing the exhaustion candles. So really, you should have gotten out here already. Once you saw that price gave you a zone consolidation, it gave you what looked like it was going to be a type 1 pattern. Oh, my bad. I thought I was sharing it on Discord. Let me know whenever you're watching. Whenever you saw price do this, and it gave you it gave you a consolidation, it gave you like a little type 1 pattern in the lower time frame. Once you started seeing that price started rejecting these highs, that's it. You should have been out of the trade ASAP. Whether you got out here or you got out here, you should have been out of the trade. Because from wanting to hold for another 10 pips, depending on where your entry was, you gave up 100% of your profits for 10 extra pips. Doesn't make any sense. Just think of all the profits you left on the table in the last 2 weeks. How many entries you got into and let price reverse back on you? That shit is crazy. Was good, Mike. But is it not advisable to take a trade during Asia or a pair? Like you, yeah. Again, that's my opinion on how I backtest, especially with our rules and what we do. Right, and again, this is nothing new. You guys seen it. You guys have watched Steve Moore's video. How many times you guys heard Steve say that? Right. Again, you could take the trade. You could take the trade. You're gonna see a setup during Asia or London session, 100%. Again, what is the market moves when you're thinking about how the market moves, right? What's gonna happen during Asia or London session? 9 out of 10 times, you're getting in the trap, right? Market moves in threes. Trap falls real. You have the trap, you have the false move, you have the real move. That's what it is. You have the trap, you have the false, and now we're looking to see if we're gonna get the real move back to the top side to get that 372. If you notice with EU2, we're stuck in a little zone of consolidation, right? So with that being said, what are we waiting for, right? On top of everything else with EU, we're trading at a higher high. That's it. So again, could this 372 not be hit? Absolutely. We're trading at a higher high. We have 3 weeks of rise already. Am I expecting price to continue to give me higher highs, higher highs, higher highs? Not really. We're sitting at a higher high and at a higher high, we got price giving us a zone of consolidation. So we know there's two things we're going to look for. We're either going to be looking for the inducement, and then we're going to be looking for an engulfing candle or a change of character break of structure to go back to the top side, or we're going to see price just completely disrespect this 372, but completely respect the trend, which again, we're sitting at a higher high. So regardless, I'll be looking for a higher low to be set sometime soon. It doesn't have to happen now. It doesn't have to happen in the next couple of days. Price could just continue to consolidate, or we'll be looking for price to give us that push now, that pullback. So yeah, same thing with GU, right? Very similar to GU when it comes to structure. We're trading at a higher high. You know, we don't have any continuations on GU, but we'll see what happens with that. And then US 30 is still making lower lows and lower highs. Could we expect price to go higher today? Could we expect price to give us higher highs and finally give us a push back to the top side to fill these gaps? Again, at this point, I'm waiting for structure to kind of tell me what price wants to do. When we're looking at internal structure, we're still making lower lows and lower highs, and this was just a lower high to continue back into a lower low. Could we get a steeper pullback here? Could we get some type of movement? Yeah, like I said, we could, but it's not something that's the highest probability. So I'll be waiting it out. No rush today. No rush at all for these next couple of days trading. I'm not gonna lie. Fact that USD ZAR is going down, but USD CAD's going up. Right now, we just have pairs moving differently than what they're supposed to. They're just kind of moving. So I'm not gonna say anything about US 30 or EU until pretty much 9:30. I'm gonna wait till the market opens and then we'll see what price does. And then EA looks very similar to EU. We have a 372, but again, right now structure is still lower low and lower high in a zone of consolidation where price has yet to kind of break these highs. We're just sitting here. So we'll see if EA wants to give us that push. But right now, we're pretty much, there's no advancements. GCAD has been the only one that's been moving. So kind of crazy that the stream on YouTube the link didn't post on Discord, man. I'll post it now. Give me 1 second. Your videos live here. Copy and paste video link. Go to Discord announcement here. I just seen the screenshot. Yeah, you had a change. You know, the only thing you didn't really get was that break. It was just a change. But then price, yeah, which is fire. And then price gave you the break, retest, and it gave you another push. Um, Now I'll say this too about EU. Let me see. You know, the only thing I would say about EU, low, lower, high. You're on the 1 minute. You're on the 5 minute. Okay. So you have technically. Let's see. This is where this is wrong too. Because technically speaking, on the 5 minute, you're not trading. You can still see my screen, right? Right. You have higher high, higher low, and you how you had it marked. You had it marked higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then this is where you had the change of character waiting for the break, right? That was 1 minute structure, but you drew that up in the 5 minute. I'm looking at your screenshot right now. That's the 5 minute time frame that you're on. Well, structure on the 5 minute really isn't like that. Structure on the 5 minute really is higher high, higher low, higher high. Then you had the change of character here. All right. Then you had change of character lower low, and you're trading between this low and this high, and then now you're getting another inducement of the low. So this is now where you want to go into the lower time frame and start looking for the change of character break of structure to the top side. And again, why is this? Why am I marking it like this? Never had a clean break. Never had a clean break until here. This candle, the wick is still touching. So you're trading all of this. And then technically speaking, you wouldn't even be looking at this wick because that would mean that you're trading between this low. So realistically speaking, it is you are trading higher high. Doesn't make a difference anyway. Higher low and then higher high. This is the high that you're looking at here, not the wick. So you have higher high, higher low, higher high, and then this is where price gave you the lower low change of character. We'll just keep an eye on US30 and GCAD for now. We'll see what price does in a little bit. Is there any other pair you're looking at or no? That was pretty much it. choked on a fucking grape shell. Oh man. Doing this one right here. Not valid. You said EA, right? Oh, GA. This one right here. Crazy how they're trapping hella traders here too. On GCAD. Gave you an engulfing bearish candle, hit your stop loss, and then went right back down, hit your stop loss again if you got in going long. She's gonna chill for right now. I'm not gonna force any trades. We can see EU never created that engulfing. It gave us a doji candle instead, an exhaustion candle. 30-minute, yeah. So, man, bro, it's cold as fuck. Let me put a hoodie on. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm black. I wanna be next to you. GA was good. Yeah, that trade from yesterday. This is the move that I wanted to see happen yesterday. But obviously, you know, we're in a bank holiday. We're not gonna get that type of volume. I was wanting to see that volume at the end of the session. Going into the new session. But we didn't even get that at the new session. We got it at the end of Asia going into London, which again just makes sense. This is a GBP pair, but GA, we'll get the volume. Then EA, you know, again, I would love to have seen an engulfing candles in a higher time frame. Get a little retest going, but it's not looking likely. This engulfing. The price has been tapped into for the longest. That's it. Don't really have any, no real internal time frame either. Change of character would be up here. Trade between this low and this high. So even on the lower time frame, price is just moving sideways. It's really off. There's no real flip zones. There's no engulfing candles. There's nothing. EU are still pretty much looking the same as EA. Kind of just still moving sideways here. Still making lower lows though. And then exhaustion candle to the top, exhaustion candles going low. And the same 15-minute time frame, 30-minute time frame. GCAT is still pushing again. USA. The only thing I like about GCAT is the fact that it did give us like that break. Again, that break happened here. And then we came down, got the retest, and then we started going up. So again, this could just be trapping traders once again. Just we'll see. We'll wait for that valid break to be given. Then on the 1 minute, like I said, this is not a valid engulfing candle. So would have loved to have seen this as a valid engulfing. That would have been great. That would have been perfect. Yeah, that would have. This in the 1 minute would have been perfect. G-cut. There is no other engulfing here. What we got was a change of character, break of structure, push number 3. And then now we have another inducement of the, I wouldn't call this an inducement of the low, but we do got another push back down to the bottom. We'll see what price does here in the 5 minutes, where I kind of want to see price respect these lows here, and then on the 1 minute start pushing back up. So this will pretty much tell us exactly what price is gonna do for today. You know, evidently would have loved to have seen price give me another break And this is not a valid engulfing candle either. Would have loved to have seen price give me another break of these highs. 1 minute could be a valid. No, not a bottom wick in sight. Once again, would have loved to have seen another break above. That would have kind of solidified what we were looking for. So we will see. We will see what happens. Yeah, I'm not gonna force any trades for today, guys. I'm pretty much just doing the boring work, which is turning the stream on so you guys can see the reality of trading. A lot of people still don't understand that not every day is a trading day, right? Not every week is a trading week. Sometimes you gotta let price do what it has to do, and then you'll come back and whenever price is looking better, you just come back and start trading on those days. But again, on days like today where we could vividly see prices just consolidating, just moving sideways, there's no structure, you know. Again, as traders, we could sit here and assume and talk about the potentials and talk about what could happen or what can't happen or what should happen. But the reality is, again, the market's going to move however it's going to want to move the time that it wants to move, right? With that being said, again, your job as a trader is to follow your rules. Are your rules being followed? Do you see what you're supposed to see? Are you seeing exhaustion candles? Are you seeing rejections? Are you seeing inducements before you take the trade? Are you waiting for your entries to be hit? Are you waiting for your rules to be hit in order for you to start taking trades? Right? If your rules aren't being met, then there's no trades to be taken. Again, you have to act like a robot. If you have a trading bot and you code your trading bot to only take double bottoms and double tops, is your bot going to take everything other than double bottoms and double tops, or is your bot only going to take double bottoms and double tops? Right? If you code your bot to only take double bottoms and double tops, it's only going to take double bottoms and double tops. So you have to act like a robot yourself. You have to be able to say, okay, is this following my rules? If yes, then you take the trade. If it's not following your rules, then you don't take a trade. It's that simple. There's not rocket science. It really is that simple. So again, for as of right now, we really don't have anything on screen that looks good. Again, a lot of these pairs are just moving, just trapping traders still, making them believe what they want to believe, and go on from there once we see a little bit more. Again, it might be like 9:30. I'll be here till 10:30, so we still got another 2 hours left. There's no news for today, so not expecting crazy volume. But I am expecting price to at least give us STP for the day. At least give us STP for the day. And then again on the 1 minute we have higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price gave us a lower low, change of character here. So we'll wait it out, man. I'm in again, no rush to take these trades. Wait it out for now. Any questions in the chat? Any pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything else you guys want me to talk about? Anything in specific that you guys want me to talk about? Let me know. Would have loved that engulfing candle on EJ going short. Would have been good. No engulfings on the 4. No engulfings on the 1. This would have been a good one too right here. Boop. Nice little retest on it to come back. Nothing on the 30. Yeah, I don't really have not a lot on any of these pairs. Yeah, oil could be a good one still to keep an eye on, but At this point, I want to be crystal. I want to see everything crystal clear at this point. If there's something that's not crystal clear, I'm just not gonna take it. Would have loved this to be a fucking engulfing candle too. We'll wait for it. It's no rush, no problem. No continuation. Still making lower lows and lower highs. We know we're looking for price to bounce off to 200, and right now internally we're still making. We pretty much just made the change of character in the lower time frame. So we'll see what price does in these areas. Bitcoin's still pushing up, which means gold might be pushing down, which means ZAR and CAD should be pushing down. ZAR is pushing down, CAD is still pushing up, which again is completely opposite of what is supposed to happen. If Bitcoin is going up, that means US30 is going up, which means gold is going down, which means USD, CAD, and ZAR are both going down. And the fact that CAD is pushing up while ZAR is pushing down is not good, right? And the fact that these pairs are going up and GU is going down also tells me the same thing that I want to see with EU, which is price going down, which is also telling me what I want to see for US30, which is price going down as well. So there's really again not a lot of confluence really going in our favor here when we're looking for entries and what we're supposed to be looking for. GJ, I'm not trading it. Once again, we're in a zone of consolidation. We're just in the middle of the range, so I'm not going to be messing with GJ. GA looks good. This would be a good one for, I would say, the rest of the month and rest of the week, to be honest. This could be a good one. If we could get out of the zone of consolidation, like again, it's all good. I'm cool with missing the initial trade, right? If price gives us a break of the zone of consolidation, then we know we have, another 563 pips to play with going back to the top side. So I'm okay with missing the initial 200 pips. I'm cool with missing the initial 100 pips. I'm in no rush. AU's going down. It's looking good. And that's pretty much it, guys. There's really not, like we could sit here and go back and forth and just kind of wait all day, but at this point I'm not really looking at anything interesting. EU's moving counter. EA could still be in a good situation. If we could get something on the lower time frame, just from where we're at now, this is still a 30 pip, 35 pip move. So, if we could get a 5-minute to a 1-minute entry, have a 5 to 10 pip stop, like that's not bad. I could take 30 pips with 5 to take with I could take 30 pips with a 5 to 10 pip stop loss. There's no problem at all. Not a valid engulfing. Would have been a good one right on the 800. Wow, don't do that to us. No, 1 minute we have higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price gives a change of character, lower low. Mr. Bashir, what's good, my brother? Hello, guys. Are we in any trade yet? Not yet, Mr. Bashir. Not yet. Just kind of waiting still. Waiting it out. Waiting to see if price wants to give us something. But right now, there's nothing. I literally just went over all the pairs. Right now, there's really nothing for us to trade. Nothing for us to really look at this point. This could be a nice engulfing candle on the 15-minute time frame. Please push up. You got 2 minutes. Nothing on the 5. Again, nothing on the 1. We're still trading lower. Now we're trading change of character, lower low. So we will continue to look after GCAD. No, we failed to get that 5-minute engulfing on EA. That would have been a good one. GU gave us an engulfing candle going short. Could we use that as a flip zone? If we got a break above, yeah. Use that as a little flip. Do we have one on EU too? EU would be good. That could be 72, little flip zone. Little fake break of the lows. Let's look at this on every time frame real quick. So, and nothing on the 4. On the 4, we're just making higher highs and higher lows. On the 1 hour, again, still making the same thing, higher highs and higher lows, same as the 30. 30 still making higher highs and higher lows. We know we're in level 2, looking for price to bounce off the 200. On the 15, we're right on the 200. On the 15, we have high, low, high, lower, low, lower, high, and then lower, low. Change of break of structure happens here, and we did get a valid break. But again, could this be the inducement of the lows? And that's what we'll see on the lower time frame, which is what we saw on the 5-minute. We're on the 800 EMA, and we wanted to see that engulfing candle. We want to see an engulfing candle here. And on the 1-minute, we know that we are trading pretty much same thing. Low, high, low, high, low, lower, high, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, higher, high, and then price came down and gave us lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So we're trading between this lower high and this lower low, and I'm like kind of just want to say that this is just lower low, lower high, and then lower low. But obviously, I'd be such a fat zone. So at this moment, I'm not gonna say nothing. Again, I'm just gonna sit here like a good boy and just wait. Get a little bit more confirmation, and then we'll take a trade. We'll start talking about what we could be looking for. But again, I'm not gonna force any of these trades onto us right now. What'd you say, my bad? Which pair? Could be a good one. I mean, brother, I hate, nah, it's not even valid. Never mind. Talking about this, second red candle didn't close below the wick. Oh, this one, yeah, I don't think we'll get that steep of a pullback. That's what I was speaking about this one earlier. When we were looking at the time frames. Yeah, I don't think we'll get that steep of a pullback at this point. The Trump markets, I mean, I wouldn't really even call them the Trump markets, to be honest. It's just, it is what it is. We're in an area right now where, again, if you go look at every single pair, Mike, I'm not even gonna answer this because I talked about it earlier. I don't know if you were here though. Go look at every single pair. Where are we in the structure? Where are we? It's very simple. Same thing that happened around, the same thing happened around October, possibly a little bit earlier in August last year. You know, when you're looking at market structure, when you're looking at where you're at, where are we on a lot of these pairs? So again, we could blame everybody and everything, and we could blame certain people, you know, as to why the market is moving how it's moving. Because you know, that's what a CEO is of a company. A CEO of a company isn't somebody who, you know, is telling the company what to do, but he's the quote unquote the face of the company. He's the person that people are gonna go to and complain about, and they're gonna start blaming the CEO as to why things aren't working out, right? So think of the market makers, you know, not the market makers. Sorry, think of the president the same way. The president is just somebody there, really, for people to say, "Oh, it's his fault as to why this is happening." But again, we're traders. We know more than that. Doesn't matter who the fuck president is. This shit was gonna happen regardless. It is what it is. This is already premeditated. But obviously, you know, conspiracy theorists 101, you know, they gotta put a face in front of you. They gotta tell you that, oh, because of him is why this is happening. Realistically speaking, we knew this was gonna happen before it even happened. Right? Like, oh, oil prices are going down because of Trump. Oil prices aren't going down because of nobody. It's going down because the market makers already put it in A1. And we were in the first zone of consolidation looking for that second push. Right? So again, it has really nothing to do with the president. It really has nothing to do with Trump, and everything to do with market structure and what's going on. Again, we look at a lot of these pairs. Same thing we did in the first 20 minutes of the stream. You go and you look at it. Where are we? We're at a higher high for a lot of pairs. We're at a lower low for a lot of pairs. Right? Pairs that are uptrending, we're at a higher high. Are we looking for price to make higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high? Or are we looking for a pullback? Same thing for prices that are downtrending and we're at a lower low. Are we looking for price to make lower low, lower low, lower low, lower high, or are we looking for price to give you a lower high? Right? We're looking for a lower high. Same way that in an uptrend we're looking for a higher low. Right? So we also know that there's two moves in the market: when price is trending and when price consolidates. Right? A trend, when price gives you a pullback, or when price is giving you higher highs and higher lows. Consolidation is when price moves sideways. So you go look at most of these pairs that are, again, at a higher high or at a lower low, and what is price doing? It's consolidating. So same thing that we're looking at now. So, you know, a lot of people we'll say here, we'll start saying, well, we could have taken a trade on GCAD. Say, yeah, you could take it, but without a real break, what's gonna happen? Price is just gonna ping pong. You could take a trade. There's nothing wrong with taking a trade. You just gotta babysit it. And if you're a babysitter, then cool. But I don't babysit. I already know what trades are gonna work out, which trades aren't, which ones are low probability, high probability. We've been doing that every day for the last 2 years here on YouTube. So again, this really has nothing to do with who the president is. You know, it doesn't matter whether or not you showered this morning. Price was gonna move the same way regardless. What's happening now has nothing to do with who the current leader of the world is. It has nothing to do with that. And everything to do with, again, this is already premeditated. we're living a life where shit's already gonna happen whether you like it or not. There's no change. Nobody could change what's gonna happen. Shit's already premeditated. It's already happening. It already started happening before anything else. So, again, our job is to just sit here and be patient. There's nothing else we can do. I'm back, guys. Give me 1 second. Let's go back to this. We could see G, or we could see US 30 ended up giving us a little push. Again, no valid engulfing because that second red candle did not close below the first red candle's wick, and no engulfing candles on the lower time frame. So we just have to be patient, and no internal time frame structure either. So again, it's all good. I'm not in no rush at this point. I've accepted the fact that these might be slow weeks. These might be next. Whoa, what? Might be slow days. These upcoming weeks. So I'm in no rush to chase trades and risk losing. There's no point. Not a valid engulfing candle here either. Green candle did not close above the first red candle. Would have been a good one though. Would have been a good one. So still just gonna be patient. GCAD right now is just trapping traders, just hitting everybody's stop losses in the lower time frames. We can see that even on the 15 minute we have crazy wicks to the top and the bottom side. If you're trading internal structure, right, higher high, higher low, and you had your stop loss below the higher low, your stop loss was hit. If you're trading lower low, lower high to go into a lower low, right, price just hit your stop loss again. So even the internal time frame, well, we could see that on the 30, right? You could just see how these candles are moving, right? Just crazy wicks to the bottom, crazy wicks to the top, long candles just hitting everybody in and out of trades. So these last two 30-minute candles have been just trapping traders, inducing traders, and that's what we're not going to fall for here. We're just going to wait it out. Again, I am expecting pairs like USD CAD, USD ZAR to go down. We'll just have to be patient here and wait it out. No engulfing candles on the 15, no engulfing candles on the 5. On the 1 minute, we're still making higher high and higher low. So again, we still don't really have any flip. We still gotta wait for those flips to happen. We do have a nice little 1 minute engulfing, but at this point, I don't think we'll get that retest. It'll be too far-fetched at this point. So we'll wait for that lower time frame. I'm gonna turn USD CAD back on. We'll wait till 9:30, like I said, and we'll wait it out. And again, for US 30, we'd love to see price go back up. But as of right now, where's our entry going to be at? We're sitting at a higher high. Again, US 30 is a big pair. I'm not about to enter a trade to have to risk 129 pips as my stop loss. So right now, I'm just going to wait it out. GU, we're still looking at this as a flip zone. I don't know why I have that off. It should be on still. Alright, GU, if price decides to go up, we'll be looking at this as a little flip zone to continue. GJ means it's going to continue that push down to the bottom, but again, I'm not going to trade GJ since we're in the middle of the zone of consolidation. GCAD still looks good. Again, we don't have any engulfing candles, nothing to turn around. We just had a lower low change of character just now, so I'd want to start seeing price flip back up. Or we'll get an engulfing candle or something. Yo, it's fucking freezing. I gotta turn the air off. I'll be right back. Hold on. And then again, if we're looking for other pairs to go up, then EU will be looking for price to go up too. And again, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. on the lower time frame. So we'll wait for price to turn back around. You ain't going no gym, bro. You lying. Nah. You lying. Talking to my brother, you good. Alright, let's see. EA is still sitting at the top. EU started melting back down to the bottom. Yeah, at this point, I'm not looking for EU to give us a continuation. GCAT is pushing up. GU is still pushing down. Yeah, I'm gonna just give it till 9:30, but I'm not really gonna be looking for any trades. And then USD CAD, that 1 minute engulfing wants to be hit, it looks like. Alright, I'm back. Okay. The letter T, R, and A. The letter R is second. The letter T is not 1 or 3, but the letter A is not 2, is not 3 or 4. So, and then the letter T is not number 5 either. So T is not 1, T is not 2, T is not 4, or T is not 5. So T has to be 3. So we have the letters R and T already. Yeah, letter T is 3, and letter R is 2. Okay, so what word? Oh wow, that was completely like out of the fucking wind too. I didn't think I was gonna get this one. Completely fucking guessed it too. Cool. Damn, GA fucking went straight into profit after that candle printed at 4. Didn't get another opportunity after that. It's all good. This was the trade that I was in yesterday. Which I should have been. This is a tough one. Same thing we were talking about this morning. Like, we knew we weren't gonna get the move yesterday because there was a bank holiday, right? So then today was just, again, if you're not up during Asia or London, and even if you are, you know, depending on where your entry is, you had a lot of wicks and market makers just hitting you in and out of trades until 4 in the morning. So GA was one of those missed opportunities. I'll call the fall for that. I'll call the fall for that. Because could we sit here and say that this was just a multi-session type 3 pattern? Where price breaks, consolidates between 50%, and then goes straight into profit? Like, we could sit here and say that, so it's all good. GCAT is still sitting here at the top, still hasn't given us another clean break. It hasn't given us another clean candle above. This is where price has just been wicking the entire time. But GCAT is another situation right now where it's like, man, again, I would love to see price start moving. I just want to see price move, and we haven't gotten any of that in the last 2 weeks. For any of these pairs, price has just been doing whatever. And again, that's completely valid. It's fair. It is what it is. right? GJ, we can see how now it's just pushing up after going down. So it's again like I just want to be super careful taking these trades. Right, the volume that keeps kicking in and out, you know, it looks good, makes it seem like this is gonna be good areas to take trades in, and then as soon as you think it's a good area to start looking for trades, price goes the opposite way again. So again, it's still a good thing that we're seeing Bitcoin push up. You know, it's still a good thing to see that gold went down. Would tell me that USD CAD is gonna go down. It tells me that US30 is gonna continue to push to the top side, but right now we're still just uptrending on both USD CAD and US30, right? All while GU is still downtrending and EU is still downtrending. So again, it's, you know, it wouldn't make any sense for me to start looking for buys, for example. It wouldn't make sense for me to start looking for buys on US30 when two pairs from the US that follow USD price heavily are counter trending. And the same thing with USD CAD. Like, why would I start looking for shorts when price is still giving me uptrend pushes? So it's one of those things where right now, even the pairs that correlate, the ones that we know we could use as correlation, they're not even moving how they're supposed to be moving. So again, I'm really in no rush today to take any of these trades. You know, GU has a nice flip zone that could turn into a flip zone, or engulfing candle that could turn into a flip zone. GCAD still has good space to take a trade. You know, if we get a nice opportunity, um, you know, if we get an engulfing candle or something to tell us that price is gonna start moving, just something, some type of confirmation. Um, you know, we could go back to the 1 minute. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, and we're looking for that higher high again to be given. So, you know, at this point, just waiting it out. You know, again, even if we have a change of character, break of structure, we still have, you know, 60 pips to play with, and that's more than enough for me, at least. Way more than enough. So we'll wait this one out on the lower time frame. No problem, no problem. EA, am I gonna trade EA, man? Realistically speaking, at this point, no, I'm not trading EA. We'll turn EA off. GCAD will keep it on. GCAD, we're waiting for that 1 minute shift. GU, we'll look for that flip zone to print out. Then US30, I'm not really looking for any entries at this point. Then USD CAD, we have that engulfing. So US30, I'm not gonna mess with for right now. GU will keep it on for the engulfing, and then GCAD will keep this on the 1 minute. So I'll keep it on GCAD and UCAD. Which again, at this point, it's working harder at this point because see now GCAD looks like it wants to push up, but UCAD wants to go down. So it's like, you know, which side are we taking? So when pairs that are supposed to correlate aren't correlating and they're just moving completely different, you know, I'm not gonna rush it. I'm not gonna rush it. It is what it is. Again, pairs that usually move together, the fact that they are moving completely opposite right now is it's something to look at, something to keep an eye on. Any questions in the chat? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to explain? Let me know. I have 112 people in the Discord now. It's crazy. A lot of people. Um, thanks, bro. You, thanks, bro. You're helping us a lot. No problem, Mr. Bashir. No problem at all. And I know it's been a pretty slow last couple weeks, but again, this is the reality of trading. Where at the end of the day, we could see where our entries aren't being validated, right? We could see where price is just trapping traders. You know, we could see the areas where we would have taken a trade, stop losses would be hit. So again, I always like to say this on the streams, and just because I know it's difficult when you're living in the moment, it's difficult to see the on the days where it's super slow, it's difficult to see the positive outcome. But again, that's why we do these streams. That's why we do them 2 times a day, right? And we talk about what we saw on the charts, and we talk about what we wanted to see, and then we talk about what actually happened, right? So then that way, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, something looked good, right? At the end of the day, in hindsight, everything looks good. But again, when you're back testing, when you're forward testing, when you're looking at your entries, when you're looking at your rules, again, where your rules being followed. If your rules aren't being followed, there's no trades to be taken, and that's okay, right? That's completely okay. So again, we'll be patient with it. 9:30 just hit. NYC Open just started, so we can see there's no real volume, nothing crazy like how it usually could be at 9:30, like how it was yesterday for US 30. You know, so we'll wait it out, man. We'll just wait it out. Ain't shit left really. You know, I'm gonna wait it out to see if price wants to give us that engulfing candle retest. You know, would love to see that happen. If it doesn't happen, then that's okay. Again, we're waiting for that change of character, break of structure to happen anyway. So we'll just see. We'll wait it out. We'll see what price wants to do. thing with GCAD too is this looks like a nice type 1 pattern. Consolidation, break, 15-minute, 200 EMA, double bottom, push 1, push 2, and now we're looking for push number 3. And we can see that double bottom, push 1, push 2, looking for push number 3. So again, could these be good areas to take trades in? Could we just say fuck it, get in a trade now? Again, yeah, like we could be those type of traders that just say fuck it and get into a trade. But that's not what I'm aiming for here. We had the change of character, boom, which gives us this low and this high. We're getting that 50% retracement, which we already got once, right? Boom, 50% retracement came up again, didn't give us a clean break of the highs and coming back down into that area. So and we're sitting in areas where right now a lot of these pairs are just moving completely fucking different. And this is just not what we're supposed to be looking at. So, and I'm not gonna rush myself into any trades. Once again, at this point, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna let price do what it has to do. The fact that all of these pairs are moving completely different. They're doing something completely different. It's just not a safe time to take a trade. US 30 is moving? Yes, sir. Mr. Bashir, US 30 is indeed moving. Then this green candle on GU doesn't have a bottom wick, man. If the 30-minute candle on EU closes like this, can we call that a valid engulfing? Let's go look at 30. Or EU, you said? The 30-minute candle on EU? No, that's not a. You're looking for two red candles and then the green candle. Again, you're looking for red, red, then you're looking for green. That was a kind of dog shit drawn there, but you're looking for red, red, green. That's what you're waiting for here. Have a good day. Love you too. So that's what you're looking for. Any other time frame, like the 1 hour could be a good one. We got 4 minutes for that 1 hour candle. That's pretty much it. Outside of the 1 hour candle, there's really nothing else on EU. Got 4 minutes for that. And then GU, we're looking for that break above. Do we print an engulfing candle? Red, red, green. Red candle does not have a fucking bottom wick, man. They love messing with us. 15-minute candle, red wick. Green candle doesn't have a bottom wick. So again, at this point, we're just getting trolled. So no bottom wicks for these engulfing candles. Man of the year, I'm so awesome. Alright. Break of structure, we're looking for the valid, we're looking for that valid break above for GU. Okay, bro, have a good day too. Thank you, Mr. Bashir. Appreciate that. We'll come back to EU in a few seconds. GCAT, I'm gonna turn GCAT off. I'm not gonna trade GCAT anymore. US 30, we're still pushing up, which is good. USD CAD, we're still pushing down, which is good. Again, no engulfing candles. The engulfing candle that we had in the 1 minute wasn't tapped into, so bless you. The higher high we're trading in USD CAD, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high. So even if we're looking for that change of character break of structure, it wouldn't be given till here. So again, we just gotta be patient. There's nothing more we could do, nothing less. This is just a game of just waiting for shit to happen. Again, at this point, I'm not really gonna be trading US 30 either, so I'm gonna turn that off. I'm gonna wait for better structure to play out. I don't really like trading when prices just moving on US 30. As you can see, I haven't traded US 30 in a minute. It's long overdue, man. It's my time to trade US 30 is coming up. Last time I took a US 30 trade was when fucking March 5th. So raise thy hand, scream and dance. So we'll wait for this 1 hour candle. We got a minute 38. We'll keep this one here, and then GU, we're looking for a clean break. All of these candles are testing. 30 seconds. Want to see this candle close above the first green candle, but it doesn't have a bottom wick, so that's not good. Again, these engulfing candles that we wanted to see too, on the 15 minute not valid, on the 5 minute not valid, on the 1 minute also not valid. So once again, there's really no entry points for us as of right now. Again, if I have to wait for price to just give us the flip zone and close above the bearish engulfing, then we'll take that trade back up to the top side. If not, then again we'll wait for the lower time frame to give us a little bit more confirmation. Gave us the wick, gave us the closure, perfect. I'll be looking for a retest now. Once we get that retest, that's when I'll start getting into the trades again. I'm empty. I feel so goddamn empty. I may go rogue. Big bullet hoes. I ain't even telling you what do you know about Juice WRLD, man. You fucking 16 years old. You were barely 15 when he came out with music. Nah. Nope, no matter. Yeah, 1 hour doing business. Yeah, I'm not. What time is it? 10 o'clock? I'm not gonna force any trades, man. I'm chilling. I'm not gonna force no fucking trade today, man. I'm over it. Got no news today either. It's a regular day, so what happened? Yeah, guys, I'm at a point right now where a lot of these trades, man, again, like I would love to see them work out. Right? There's nothing I would want more. But at this point, again, there's really nothing we could do about it. Nothing we could do about it. Right? We have engulfing candles that are being printed that aren't even valid because these candles don't have bottom wicks or top wicks. Um, I'm gonna give this shit one more try. I'm gonna give price an opportunity one more time to kind of start moving where we wanted to see it move to. But again, at this point, I don't want to have to just force a trade just a trade. You know what I mean? So again, I'm at a point where EU's looking good, right? EU is looking good in the sense that price wants to start moving, right? We have low, lower, high, lower, low, high, and then price gave us lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. Then price gave us a change of character, higher, high here. So again, we're looking good. Like it looks like price wants to actually give us something, but when it comes to really looking at structure and how price is moving and how much price has already moved going counter, I'm not really expecting price to I'm not really looking for price to give us 100 pips going short and then another 100 pips going back up. I don't see that happening. Um Again, when we're talking about STP, a lot of these pairs are moving 2 times more than what they're supposed to. STP is 113. We haven't done STP just yet. We're 10 pips off from STP. So just gonna give these pairs a few more minutes, man. I'll give it till 10:30. 10:30 will be my cutoff time. But even trading this in the 1 minute, like, oh, you have a change of character, break of structure, but yeah, we have the 800 EMA though, and I would much rather wait for that 30-minute flip zone to happen. Not only would we have the flip zone, but then we would also be trading above the 800 EMA. So Again, none of these engulfing candles that we have on screen are valid. We still don't have the 50 crossing above the 200 just yet. Again, we're right below the 800 where price, you could even see it on the lower time frame, is still giving you lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So price is still downtrending. I'm not gonna force a trade. That's the last thing I'm gonna do is force a trade today. Damn. Now oil is just still moving sideways. Man, they're not making it easy for us at all today. We haven't been making it easy at all on us. Yo, welcome back, sir. Give me a second. Would you want me to see on your shirt? Oh, nah, hold on. I hear it now, but you're gonna have to mute the live stream because I hear that too. Why'd you take it off for? Mhm. Mm-mm. That what? Right. Keep choking on shit. Hey yo. Damn, bro. One of the one of the racers from last week, well, this past weekend, he practiced or he fell in one of the practices and he's paralyzed now. Yeah, he got paralyzed from the belly button down. Yeah, off a jump, he instead of putting his foot on back on the pegs on the bike, he touched the back brake. So he landed short on a jump and landed head first on the face of another jump. And I'll tell you right now. Yeah, he had to get his T3 through T9 fused, and then they had to put his spine. They were able to put it back straight, but he's still paralyzed, man. But they say that they're hopeful he could walk again, but straight in bed, that motherfucker not writing ever again. Nah, not like that, bro. That's very. I mean, I'm never say never. Shit, if he does it, would love to see that, but that shit is crazy. Gotta put his ass on a smoothie diet. Hmm. Right. You don't have a you don't have a tropical smoothie cafe by you? Yeah. Try to get them. Not added sugars. Maybe in the one that's by you, but not because the tropical smoothie by my house they don't use added sugars. It should just be the sugars on the fruit. Like the menu should tell you too. Like my menu said, there's no added sugars to it. There shouldn't be added sugars to it. Yeah, no, I've never eaten anything there. I've just gotten the smoothies. The island green. That's the one that I got. You 200%ed your account? 200%. You know what you're talking about? You doubled your account? You didn't close out of the fucking trade? Yeah. Hmm. Right. um, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like I said earlier, it's pretty much just really just having to babysit the trade once it got to those highs. And then once you saw that price started rejecting those highs, that's pretty much it. Like you, even on the 1 minute, like I don't even go into the 1 minute earlier. I just went into the 5 minute. But I get what you're saying though. Like it looked like it wanted to give you a type one, for a little continuation. 100% looked like it wanted to do that. But once you saw price gave you the higher high, came down, gave you a higher low, then came back up and rejected those highs. Not only rejected those highs, but gave you the candlesticks, the exhaustion candles. Um, you know, that should have been already your first indication. Like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get out of this trade here, and then we'll see if NYC will give you a pullback, right? Because again, like usually price isn't just gonna go up and go up and go up. The same way it's not just gonna go down, go down, go down. Usually on a regular day-to-day basis. When we're looking at the charts now, it's like, damn, bro, why is it when I enter the trade, shit's not moving, but when I'm not in the trade, shit just fucking skyrockets, right? So again, realistically speaking, what price did today is usually what price does every single night throughout Asia and London session. So even on that one trade that I caught during Asia session, I don't remember which trade it was, but it was that one trade that it was like a few weeks ago that I caught the trade during as soon as the market opened, like Asia session, and then middle of the night it came back up, went back into my entry point, and went right back down again. It was one of those trades where it was like, yo, I'm lucky that I didn't like I'm lucky that I went right back down because I knew that was a trade that I had to babysit, and I ended up just going to bed. But I got lucky. So again, it's like it's not something that we don't know. Like it's something that I talk about all the time. It should be posted in the Discord if it's not in our chat. Mhm. Right. Mhm. 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 I get you, but like I also like, you know, when you're going back and you're looking at the old screenshots, like looking at the old trades are cool and shit, but there's one thing that you're missing from doing when you're looking at the screenshots. What do you think that is? Exactly. You know, again, if price is at a higher high, just again, just the same shit that we always talk about. Like we're at a higher high. Are we expecting price to just continue to trend? Right? And if we're not looking for price to continue to trend, then what does that mean that we're doing? Consolidating, trapping traders, right? The trap falls real. So even when you're looking at the chart like this is a pretty much a zone of consolidation where price is rejecting highs and rejecting lows, and you can see that there is really no trend. Price is just making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower. Like you see what I'm saying, and you see it like I'm saying that right on your chart. So whatever time frame you're on, 5 minute time frame. So there's no trend. You're in a zone of consolidation. So again, like you can't really compare the other trades that look similar to this because while yes, the 30 minute and the 5 minute look similar, what's completely different is structure. So, you know, again, market structure, where we're at, peak high, are we in the middle of the trend? Are we at the third push? You know, what type of structure are we looking for? So, again, like it wasn't a bad trade. It wasn't a bad trade at all. Was it an early trade? Okay, we could sit here and argue and say it was an early trade, but it's like the same with GU. Like just because GU STP's all the way up here, like you think I'm gonna hold this trade to STP? Or do you think I'm gonna wait and babysit to see how price reacts here? And if price gives me a rejection candles, I'm out of the trade. That's it, yo, because I'm not gonna fight. Number one, I'm not fighting for an extra 30 pips. I'm just not gonna do it. Especially understanding where I'm trading. Again, we're at a higher high. We're at a higher high. We already have 3 months of rise. We already have 3 weeks of rise. Where else are we going? Before a break of structure as well. See what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm not fighting over an extra 30 pips when I already made 40 pips. Like there's just no there's no reason to do that, right? Especially when you're taking a trade on a lower time frame. If you're telling me that oh it's a 1-to-1 is not worth it, okay, yeah, I agree 100%. I 100% agree to that. However, you're trading on a your entry was on a 5 minute 1 minute time frame where you're telling me you 200x your account and you didn't take the trade or you didn't take profit like in an area where again you know you're at a higher high. So again, the entry wasn't bad at all. The entry wasn't bad at all. What was bad is what you said, the exit and the reason why. That's 100%. You know, that is what I would say. 100% is where that trade went wrong. 15 minute engulfing on EU. Yeah. Um, not a valid engulfing. Second red candle didn't close below the first red candle wick. So what I'm looking for on EU is for this break of structure, which we just got now. We're still testing, so it's still no valid breaks, and then I'm looking for the pullback. So still a few minutes to wait on EU. For USD CAD, I wanted to see this engulfing candle here, which price just gave us. So let's take a look. 15-minute engulfing. Looks good. And then GU, I'm looking for this 30-minute engulfing candle to turn into a flip zone. So we got 13 minutes left for that. Let's take a look at USD CAD. So what I'm interested on USD CAD first is looking for this break of structure to happen on the 1 minute. If we get this break and a retest on the 1 minute, then I would like to get into the trade on the 1 minute time frame as well. And I'll be looking for price to bounce off the 50. So let's say we get into a trade somewhere here, which is also the 50% retracement, right? Just so you can see that I know what I'm talking about, right? It'll probably be around the same area. So we know that we could potentially take a trade here, you know, either use a regular 10 pip stop, or we could even go a little bit more aggressive and use anywhere between a 5 pip stop. I think a 5 pip stop is where I would put it at, just to have a little bit more room for error. And then that's how I would take my trade. But I need to see that break first, so again, we got 12 minutes. We'll look at this again at 11 on the dot. USD CAD, we'll look for an entry here going short. Once we get a valid break, is going to be if another red candle closes below the first red candle wick. And then I would also like to see that break below the 800 EMA before the retest. And then for Euro USD, we're still looking for a valid break as well, same as USD CAD. So again, we're still testing. This candle is still closed below the break of structure, but never closed below the first candle's wick. So again, what are we looking for? The next candle, right? The next candle, same thing. It has to close below the wick, and it can't be touching the BOS. And the wick that I'm looking for it to close under is this wick here, the testing candle wick. Would love to have seen another engulfing candle too on the lower time frames. That would have given us a little bit more confirmation. 14 seconds here. GU, we're still good. Okay, EU is looking, still testing. Again, testing, boom, testing. So again, this is another one very similar to USD CAD. I would like to see price give us that valid break above the 800 EMA. That would be very nice. So now, boom, we got the break. So again, we'll use our fib from the bottom, from the high to the low. What are we looking for? A 50% retracement. So everything is looking good. We'd love to see a 50% retracement on this. That would be the most ideal trade. Once again, 50% retracement. We know we could get a 3 pip stop. Come on. Easy cash. Easy cash. We'll be looking at a 3 pip stop. More or less a 3 pip stop. First TP is 50 pips. TP number 2 would just be STP at 68 pips. So you guys could do the math there. Got 10 minutes for GU. Still don't have a valid break on EU just yet. It's all good. Be patient with it. Don't need to be impatient with these entries today. But Mr. Adrian, let me know if you have any questions about that engulfing candle on the 15 minute on EU. I hope that made sense as to why this isn't a valid engulfing candle. Oh yes, brother. Thank you. That candle didn't close below that wick. Yep, exactly. Got 7 minutes for this candle to close above, and then EU came right back down, tumbling back down. So now once again, too, guys, when it comes to EU and GU, remember the fact that we're trading at a higher high. So just be careful taking these trades. We'll be good. Again, at the end of the day, this could just be a pullback, so we're still good. Again, on a day where no news, right? We didn't get no volume at 9:30, so power hour, man. We'll be looking for price to give us some type of movements a little bit later on in the day. Give us that retracement. Yeah, I know, right? Love that price gave us a valid break of structure under the 800 too, which is what I was looking for. All right, now we'll be looking for price to give us that pullback. Um, yeah, that 1 minute pullback would be fucking amazing too, man. But again, at this point, not really expecting price to give us that steep of a pullback. It could still, but we'll see what price does. And we gotta wait another 30 minutes for GU to give us that valid break. Otherwise, I'm not trading it, so we'll give it to 11:30. And then EU still hasn't given us that break on the 1 minute. We're just getting a lot of wick candles here. But 1 minute looks good. We had the change of character. Higher high, higher low, and then we're looking for the break of structure, higher high, which again, we still don't have it, so we'll wait for that to develop a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. Right now, USD CAD is the one that looks the best, and if we go, damn, I should have done that on here, to US 30, US 30 is still pushing up, so again, kind of a bummer, didn't really have an opportunity to trade US 30 today. That's okay, it happens. Sometimes you get an opportunity, sometimes you won't, and that's completely okay. So again, GU, I'll be waiting for that 30-minute closure above, so we could turn this into a flip zone. Could we sit here and say, let's take a look at the lower time frames. 1 minute we had GU. We could also sit here and say that we got the break and retest on the 1 minute. But I do want to see price bounce off of 200. So let's see if we could get that on the 1 minute. And I would have loved to have seen the flip zone, the candle closure above the flip zone first, and then the retest on the lower time frame. So that's what I'm gonna wait for. Because again, before I could even take a trade, I need to see that closure above. I'm not gonna force myself into any of those trades. Not a valid engulfing candle in the 1 minute, right? No wick in sight. Look at the lower time frame. Nothing here, so we'll take a look and we'll see what happens. Any questions in chat? I think I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm not gonna. It's already 11 o'clock. I'm not really gonna be trading today. I'm gonna be done for the day. I'll be back tonight. Any questions? Let me know. Again, this is gonna be the last session for today on YouTube. Tonight's session, the isolation session, will be done on WAP for our members, our paid members on WAP. Tomorrow is Wednesday, WAP Wednesdays. Everything will be on WAP tomorrow, the live trading session and the isolation session. Thursday we'll do the live trading session on WAP, isolation session on YouTube, and then Friday we'll do another trading session on YouTube. So any questions in the chat before I finish for the day? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. The link for Discord, again, free Discord. There's a free YouTube as well. But if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, I'll post a link in the chat. If you guys are interested in joining the membership where we do the one-on-one sessions and everything else,
give you guys all the tools you need to learn. You guys could also do that for $49.99. Any questions in chat? Mr. Bashir said, we good? Alright, perfect. No problem. I really was trying to give it as much time as possible to try to see if we could look for an entry. Again, for the most part, a lot of these pairs might give you an entry during, you know, like 2 p.m. time, 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. But I'm not gonna force any trades. I'm not gonna just continue to sit here. BTC already hit ADR for the day in STP. There's really nothing for Bitcoin. Then again, Bitcoin is very similar to US30, so everything I say about US30 is very similar to Bitcoin. We're sitting in peak high territory. We're in the highest point in the market. Again, where price pretty much gave us a zone of consolidation. It gave us a break of the bottom of the zone of consolidation, and we're sitting in a situation where, are we seeing price push up to give us lower low into a lower high, or is price just going to continue to trend up to the top side? Right, very similar to what we were talking about on US30. Right, only difference now with US30 compared to a few weeks ago is that now price on US30 ended up giving us a higher time frame change of character, lower break of structure, and so did the 4-hour time frame. So at this moment, you know, again, there's really nothing here to say about US30 except for just continue to follow the trends and the continuations. Same thing for Bitcoin. Just keep following the trend, follow the continuations, and everything will be a-okay. But again, just gonna go look at these other pairs one more time. We can see again, like GU is back up at the top. 20 minutes for that. USD CAD still trending down. This is good. At this point, I don't think we'll get price to give us that pullback that we're looking for. And then again, Euro USD could be good too. So for the most part, again, a lot of these pairs, you know, could we still get that 372 on EU? 100%. STP hasn't been hit yet. STP, actually 113, yeah. So STP hasn't been hit yet. So again, it could still be a good pair to keep an eye on, which is just gonna be one of those days where we're gonna have to be sitting here until 3 p.m. So no other questions in chat. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and again, we'll be back on YouTube on Thursday evening. We'll do the isolation session here on YouTube. So make sure you guys join the Discord. We'll see you guys again later. Peace out.